and welcome to the anime versus manga debate. A quick video I wanted to do, basically looking at the pros and cons of both anime and manga. I wanted to do this video simply because you always have that debate between people like, oh, you should watch the anime or you should read the manga. And honestly, I frequently ask that question myself. But here I wanted to, really take a quick look at some of the good things anime does, some of the good things manga does, and, obviously the reverse, the things that they don't do as well. Again, this is mostly opinion, but some of these observations do hold weight, I feel. And that's why I wanted to share my opinions with you guys. So the video will be divided up into several parts. First looking at manga, then looking at anime, and finally my own personal conclusions, like, which do I like better, how am I proceeding to work through certain stories, such as One Piece, Fairy Tail, Naruto, etc. So, yes. Let's begin with Part 1, Manga. Hey everyone, and welcome to the manga section of the video. Really quick, for those of you who may not be familiar with manga, or manga, I prefer saying manga. Also, that's another point of debate, but that's for someone else. But, basically, manga are like the comic book versions of some of your favorite animes. Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Fairy Tail, etc. And, they're usually divided up into chapters, and they read from right to left, which is interesting for us Americans, because left to right. But, yeah. So, what are some of the good points of manga? Well, to start, pretty much the manga is like the Bible of, every story. Naruto, Bleach, etc. The creator sat down, came up with the story and ideas, and they put them, on these pages. And they can divide them up however they want. And that's one of those big points is, One Piece, Naruto, Fairy Tail, those are based off of the manga that came before them. It's not the other way around, where somebody did the animated series and then came back. So, that's a very important, valid point. One of the big, important things that I feel that should be addressed here, no filler in manga. A lot of the time you'll be watching your anime series, and they'll come up with a little filler thing, like in One Piece. After a few of the arcs, they have some character development, like Usopp proves himself to be a great sniper in Locktown. Sanji grows as a chef in Water 7, things of that nature. But also you'll have some stupid little things like, oh no, someone stole the pirate flag from the Thousand Sunny. So, filler is the thing that happens more in anime, and it's kind of hit or miss. Like, some things are good and interesting, like character development. And other things are just, crap, we need to, slow down the story a bit so that we don't surpass the manga. So, filler. It happens in anime. And not so much in manga. Thank God. Another excellent point. Manga is a lot faster to get through than anime. Trust me on this one. I've done my work on this. For the anime One Piece, I spent like a year and a half, basically going from episode 1 to somewhere in the 750-ish range. And off and on, I wasn't constantly doing it, but still. And then once I got caught up with where the anime was, I started reading the manga. And, yeah, I was able to plow through the manga very quickly. So that's one of the big things the manga has going for it. If you're behind on a long-running series, Naruto, Bleach, Fairy Tail, you can quickly just go, okay, I'm going to read the manga, I'm going to get caught up, and, yeah. Rather than having to spend ungodly amounts of time watching the anime. And again, I'm not bashing on anime, I'm just making this very valid point that I have had in my experience. Another awesome point is no sub versus dub debate. Something you will commonly find in anime, oh, you should watch the sub for this one, or you should watch the dub. Some people have their preferences, and that's totally fine. But if you want to avoid all of that headache and annoyance and frustration, you can read the manga. Yes, they do print in Japanese and English, but I'm assuming a lot of my personal audience is going to be people who can only read English. If you can read Japanese, you do have my utmost respect, honestly. It's very hard to learn, and yeah, so kudos to you. As for the rest of us, we at least have something to work with in English, and I very much appreciate that. Thank you to all of the manga translators out there. You guys are wonderful people, and I wish you very much success in the future. And unfortunately, I do have a few cons. Not major things, but things to address nonetheless. One of the first things that I have written down, manga is mainly in black and white. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for certain crowds it can be frustrating. Like cosplayers like myself occasionally. It's kind of hard to get an idea on, like, okay, what color should my outfit be whenever I'm doing, like, Gajeel or Sanji or Zoro. Like, you can get some idea, but seeing it in color in the anime or, on the cover of the manga chapter is nice and helpful. But seeing some of the different outfits that they do wear, because unlike a lot of American cartoons, they do change outfits. It's nice to see, okay, so he's wearing a red shirt, white pants, stuff like that. And then the only other thing I actually had down here was, not everyone likes reading, is basically the short answer to that. Some people it's comprehension, some people it's engagement, and that's totally fine. I can understand that. I could, blast through books, when I was younger, but, like, as I get a bit older, like, some longer stories, I'm like, I'm not as engaged with. And that can be the case with some people who follow certain stories, Fairy Tail, One Piece, Bleach. And I get that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is that hurdle that manga has to overcome, like, how do you engage those people? And one of the things they do have going for them, are the visuals, and that's awesome. But some people, it still doesn't draw them in. And at least they have the anime to see things. So, that's a positive point. And, of course, I actually missed one more positive point I had written down here. The manga may cover some things that are not in the anime. Colossal Con 2015, I want to say. I went to a Soul Eater panel, and one of the things they were doing throughout the panel was, asking different Soul Eater trivia. And a few of the questions they asked were things that were covered in the manga, but were not covered in the anime. So they were like, how many sigils did they need to unlock this door or whatever. It's like, I don't remember that time, because I only watched the anime. And yeah, so like I said before, the manga is pretty much the Bible of the story. Like, it has everything. All the small details, and, all of the grand events. Whereas the anime may have to cut some things, due to time constraints, or, what they want to show the watcher, sorry. But, yeah, so, that's all I've got written down here for the manga. Stick around for parts 2, where I talk about the, the anime portion. The second part of the video. Anime, really quick, again, just to cover it. Anime is basically the animated version of, is Japanese animation, essentially. So, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Gurren Lagann, Soul Eater, etc. You tune in to Toonami, or you hop onto Crunchyroll, or Kiss Anime, or something like that, and you can watch different episodes of an Japanese animated series. Is what manga essentially is. Again, just to cover it. What good does anime have going for it? One of the first things that I have right here, it's good to see things in action. With manga, you're seeing essentially comic book panels. Like, okay, let's take an early point in One Piece, Zoro and Mihawk face off. They do have, slashes and attacks and onomatopoeia, the words that are sounds like bam, boom, blah, blah, blah. And that's good, but there are some things that I personally prefer seeing in action. Again, the fight between Zoro and Mihawk. A bit later on in the series, a certain character using hockey for the first time. Just like it, it's pretty cool. Like I was reading One Piece, I saw, oh, this person gets to use hockey later on in the series. I was like, oh my god, I have to go back whenever they come out with the episode and watch this and see how it goes. And I was not disappointed. Along with a few other, set scenes that I'm not going to go into right now. But yeah. The next thing that I have down here, it's nice to hear the voices for the characters. Whether or not you prefer sub versus dub, it doesn't matter with this point. Again, going back to cosplayers and such, it's really nice to be able to have a voice to base yourself off of. One of my favorite characters, Sulking Brook, he talks a bit higher up, so if I want to personify, the cosplay as best I can, I have to do, some work with my voice and such. And it's just interesting to hear, like, oh, Luffy, he shows himself to be a goof, and the voice fits. Like, it helps lend something to the personality to hear a voice, whether in Japanese or English, and I really like that. Whenever I'm watching the anime, as long as they have a good voice cast. Sometimes they will mess that up, so that's kind of an ouch for anime. Second point, like I talked about before with manga, color is visually engaging. Let's say you're a cosplayer again, and you're looking at Zoro, okay? He wears a white shirt, black pants, but what's up with his, sash thing? Is that green, blue, like, what color is it supposed to be? If you're watching the anime, you get some perspective. It's green, for the record, for those who may not know. But there may be other things that you see in the background, or again, whenever people change outfits, you can see different colors. Like, oh man, like I really love, Urza's red outfit, or, Lucy's blue. Like, oh, yeah, I love those two characters, by the way. They are great. Though, to be fair, my waifu is Levi, just saying. And for those who may not get that joke, I'm talking about Fairy Tail, because I cosplay Gagio, for the record. Looking at filler, I talked about that briefly in manga, but filler can be good at times, give some development to the characters. But, unfortunately, it can be hit or miss at times. You have character development. Like Zoro buying swords in Lockdown, whenever he, holds out his arm and essentially defeats the curse of the Kotetsu Mark III. Usopp proving himself to Big Daddy. Sanji winning the cooking contest, just awesome stuff like that. Like, oh my gosh, this person isn't just, like, going and beating people up. Like, they actually have a story to them, and it's nice to learn those things, and I really appreciate that a little bit in anime. In manga, maybe they don't do it for whatever reason, but it's nice to see that occasionally in anime. However, you do have some stupid little, not canon things that are filler. Again, for some reasons, possibly to not surpass where the manga is, or just, oh hey, we have some time to fill, let's just make up some stupid story. It can be funny and interesting, but it can also be teeth-gratingly annoying. So, just bear that in mind. And then just, honestly, one of the big cons I had for anime was anime may not have everything in it. Like I talked about with the Soul Eater panel, that I went to, they talked about some things that only occurred in the manga, and for reasons they cut out some of the story for the anime. Because bear in mind, you have to work within, like the 25 minutes time frame, or if you have, like a longer, like hour-long anime like Hellsing Ultimate, you have to work with that in that time frame. So some details are going to be cut out or omitted entirely, and that's understandable. but it is also, you know, a sticking point that some people may not be a fan of. Like whenever I went to that Soul Eater panel, you know, I was a little disappointed. Like, oh man, they didn't include like this arc or that arc. Like, what the heck? And honestly, if I hadn't gone to that panel, I wouldn't have known that. So, yeah, it's just something to bear in mind that anime doesn't mean it has everything that the manga did. Just saying. And then I don't really have anything else for anime. So, I'll stop here really quick, get some water, and then we can talk about my personal conclusions about the anime versus manga debate. Hey everyone, and welcome to the final part of the video. Basically, really quick, where I draw my own conclusions on the anime versus manga debate. And the answer may or may not surprise you, but I feel that the best way to experience a story is to see both sides, the anime and the manga. And I feel like the best way for me to do that personally is to read through the manga first, you know, like get all the story bits, and then if there are scenes of interest to me, I can go back and I can watch those. Also, I can save myself some time by saying, oh man, this arc was stupid, like my character wasn't in it, you know, nothing really was developed here, so I can just, you know, skip like episodes 15 to 20 or something like that in this anime or whatever. And like I said, while I'm reading the manga, which is essentially the Bible of the story, you know, that has everything, like I'll know these little details, like in Yu Yu Hakusho, the relationship between Kuwabara and his father, or, you know, this arc occurred in Soul Eater. Things like that will be brought to my attention, and I think I'll have a better understanding of the characters. Meanwhile, you know, when I'm watching the anime, I can, you know, see and hear these characters and better, like, feel and understand their struggles, while also getting to go, oh my god, did you see that fight between Gajiel and that character? Man, he, like, whooped the shit out of him, and it was great. So, you know, that's my conclusion. You know, if you want, you can choose one side or the other. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. The way I want to do this myself is, you know, read the manga, like, know the whole story, and then if there are things that I want to see, like, done in action, in motion, whatever you want to say, I can see those things in the anime, hopefully. Unless it's like, nope, we're just going to skip this epic battle, like, you know, nobody wanted to see Gajiel versus Urza or something like that. I don't know if that happens, but if it does, I definitely want to see that. Just saying. Go Team Gajiel. But that brings us to the end of the investigation for this video. And really quick, I just want to say thanks for joining me, thanks for watching, and if you have any more suggestions for future episodes of, you know, the Character Investigator investigations, you know, let me know down in the comments section below. I do have a few ideas up my sleeve, such as what I'm dubbing the Maze Hughes theory, which will not be... It will be coming soon, I assure you. I just have to, you know, get my thoughts together on that one. But, yeah, if you have suggestions for me, feel free to let me know. And that's all I have to really say. So, as always, everyone, have fun, stay safe, and keep your eyes open. You know, you never know what you want to investigate. I'm Valiant Bradley James, the Character Investigator. Peace. Hey guys, really quick, the post-credits. What's coming up next time on the Character Investigator? And I have another cosplay craft video for you. Basically, I'm dubbing this video forearm weaponry. Basically, think like Mega Man or Ash vs. Evil Dead. You know, weaponry that like covers pretty much like the hand and some of the forearm. I have a little bit of experience with this, and this is just going to be a quick how-to on how to make some of those things. Because, you know, I found a cheap and I think kind of effective way to do it. So I just want to share that stuff with you guys. Again, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Or on this video, well, like the video, comment, or subscribe to my channel for other character investigations and cosplay-related videos, such as cosplay crafts, the cosplay enthusiast, etc. And that is all I have to say again. And that is all I have to say. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time. Peace.